Hello, it's Willie from the Ozarks, and we're ready for our February the 6th lesson in A Course in Miracles workbook for students. We're ready for lesson 37, My Holiness Blesses the World. We're reading from the original edition. I don't think there's much difference at all in the original edition and the more common Foundation for Inner Peace's version. So they're both basically the same. There may be a few changes, but very, very minor, and nothing in meaning that in really significant meaning that I've ever seen. So lesson 37, My Holiness Blesses the World. This idea contains the first glimmerings of your true function in the world, or why you are here. Your purpose is to see the world through your own holiness. Wow. First glimmerings of our, he says, first glimmerings of your true function in the world, or why you're here. You know, we're the light of the world. Now, that's when we're really glimmering, isn't it? But he's saying this lesson here, My Holiness Blesses the World, is this idea contains the first glimmerings of your true function in the world, or why you are here. Your purpose is to see the world through your own holiness. We're to see the world through our own holiness, our own one wholeness. I think the root word there is a sacredness because of our wholeness. Lord thy God is one. Love him with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. That's the wholeness that we're all part of. We're all part of the creation of God. That's the holiness. Thus are you and the world blessed together. Let's start again. This idea contains the first glimmerings of your true function in the world, or why you are here. Your purpose is to see the world through your own holiness. Thus are you and the world blessed together. No one loses. Nothing is taken away from anyone. Everyone gains through your holy vision. It signifies the end of sacrifice because it offers everyone his full due. And he is entitled to everything because it is his birthright as the Son of God. We're so incredibly rich because of our inheritance and who is our Father. There is no other way in which the idea of sacrifice can be removed from the world's thinking. Any other way of seeing will inevitably demand payment of someone or something. So the way we're using doesn't require any payment from anyone or anything. As a result, the perceiver will lose. If you have to do payment, then the perceiver will lose. Nor will he have any idea why he is losing. Oh my gosh, he'll have lost his mind first. Yet in his wholeness, restored to his awareness through your vision, yet is his wholeness restored to his awareness through your vision. You see his holiness first. He'll see it too then. Your holiness blesses him by asking nothing of him. Those who are themselves, those who see themselves as whole, make no demands. No demands needed because we see ourselves as whole. And this is what we offer to our brothers and sisters, the vision of holiness, of oneness, of connectedness, of love is integrated throughout all of God's creation, being that all of God's creation is a representation of God, which is love. So all creation is love and can find the Creator in the creation because they're one. Those who are themselves, those who see themselves as whole, make no demands. Your holiness is the salvation of the world. Your holiness is the salvation of the world. It lets you teach the world that it is one with you, not by preaching to it, not by telling it anything, but merely by your quiet recognition that in your holiness are all things blessed along with you. Isn't that a nice way to see it? We're just all blessed. And you see it. Don't ever let appearances show you the contrary, because that'd be the illusion. And of course, that's what the ego wants you to see, is the illusion, so it can stay in charge in your divided state. We want to look through the eyes of Christ, our one state. Today's four longer exercise periods, each to involve 3 to 5 minutes of practice, begin with the repetition of the idea for today, followed by a minute or so of looking about you as you apply the idea to whatever you see. My holiness blesses this chair. My holiness blesses that window. My holiness blesses this body. There's 3 examples. Then close your eyes and apply the idea to any person who occurs to you, using his name and saying, my holiness blesses you, blank, and then fill in a name of who you're thinking of. You can let that be a really beautiful prayer. You can go throughout. If you give yourself a few minutes, you'll think of all the people in your world, and you'll be able to just say, my holiness blesses you, and name that person. And remember, the main rule in all this is don't let there be anybody that you don't apply that to. You don't have to apply it to everybody, but just be sure there's no one you specifically avoid. My holiness blesses you, blank. You may continue the practice period with your eyes closed. You may open your eyes again and apply the idea for today to your outer world if you so desire. You may alternate between applying the idea to what you see around you and to those who are in your thoughts, or you may use any combination of these 2 phases of application which you prefer. The practice period should conclude with a repetition of the idea with your eyes closed and another following immediately with your eyes opened. Okay? So end it all by closing your eyes and saying, my holiness blesses the world, and then open your eyes and say it again. My holiness blesses the world. So he wants us to go back and forth. Any combination of those 2. Start off by closing your eyes saying, my holiness blesses the world. And then, what's he say here? 3 to 5 minutes of practice. Begin with the repetition of the idea for today, followed by a minute or so of looking about you as you apply the idea to whatever you see. So you can actually start off with your eyes open like you already are if you're busy working, and just say, my holiness blesses this blank, and name a few things for a minute, and then close your eyes and then tell yourself, I bless you in your imagination. See all your people, then see your prayers. And you're going to see all those people and offer them blessings. That's all you do. You don't have to have words for your prayers. Just, we do have a word here, but it's the thoughts of the heart, the feelings of the heart, beyond symbols that we really are offering. But the words express it nicely to begin with, doesn't it? My holiness blesses you, blank, and just apply that to everybody that crosses your mind. And so that'll be our longer practice periods. Will take 3 to 5 minutes, and we'll do those how many times? 4 times today, spread out among the day. And then the shorter exercises consist of repeating the idea as often as you can. It is particularly helpful to apply it silently to anyone you meet, using his name as you do so. It is essential to use the idea if anyone seems to cause an adverse reaction in you. Offer him the blessing of your holiness immediately, that you may learn to keep it in your own awareness. Oh, isn't that beautiful? So we're going to use this one day. If you find somebody that particularly causes an adverse reaction, you're going to immediately, with your eyes opened, say, or eyes closed. I mean, if you sit down and close them. If you can't sit down, well, then you're going to do it with your eyes open. If you're driving, by all means, you know what I'm saying? But you're going to say, my holiness blesses you, blank, and name that person. And all right, so we can use that as a way to overcome temptation, or the desire to attack, or to be afraid of something or someone. All right, so let's go take a look. There is nothing. Oh no, that's tomorrow's. Excuse me. My holiness blesses the world. Tomorrow will be there is nothing my holiness cannot do, but we'll get to that tomorrow. Today, just one lesson of today. My holiness blesses the world. All right, let's go take a look now back in our text reading, and we're ready for in chapter 12, the fear of redemption, number 3. We probably won't get through the whole section. I'm really going to try to keep these lessons down to less than 20 minutes, the best I can. I know I went over it for quite a long time during January, but that was the exception, not the rule. I'd love to get them down to about 15 minutes, but that may be wishful thinking. Okay, I've got a plant out of the Seed Savers Exchange this is not what they are, but they're similar. They're a colored sweet pepper. These are some sweet peppers, I'm going to read you some I found on Healthline about sweet peppers, and then you'll see why I've got them out. I'm getting ready to eat them. Let me read about what it says here. This is a Seed Savers Exchange pepper that is not exactly like a bell pepper, a little bit less round and more longer. But it says sweet 4-inch long conical fruits ripen from yellow, green to orange, then red. That sound pretty? Early maturing 30-inch plants are resistant to disease and rotting and will ripen even during cloudy summers. Developed at the Institute of Vegetable Breeding and Seed Production on the western edge of Moscow. So they're probably pretty good about maturing pretty quick and withstand some cold climate. They won't. No pepper, I don't think any peppers at this point will withstand frost, but you can get down pretty close to it probably. They're 70 days from transplant, and they're a sweet pepper. Okay, so there's the sweet pepper. Now, look what I found on Healthline, though. This was I thought it was really neat. Yesterday I started developing some kind of a coronavirus, and kind of felt a little weak, runny nose. I might blow my nose while we're talking. Anyway, look what it says. I get a lot of inflammation. Says the Seed Savers Exchange. That's where I found the seeds at. Of this particular one, and it's called Healthy. But here's what I found on healthline.com. Sweet peppers contain antioxidants called carotenoids that may reduce inflammation, disease, cancer, or decrease cancer risk, and protect cholesterol and fats from oxidative damage. So, sweet peppers are good, and I've kind of got a taste for them. Maybe they'll help me with a little bit of my runny nose today. All right? I was asking myself, now, I'm a son of God. How come I'm getting this viral update, as some people call them? Well, I guess I needed it. And who says that I'm sick? I'm having a nice day just sitting by the fire. I did a little walking. Just always follow the Holy Spirit, the Holy One, and let Him tell you how to perceive what you're experiencing. But there's never a need for fear, is there? The fear of redemption, that's what we're looking at today. You may, and this is, like I said, chapter 12. Was that everything I wanted to tell you about the peppers? I think it was. The fear of redemption. You may wonder why it is so crucial that you look upon your hatred and realize its full extent. You may also think that it would be easy enough for the Holy Spirit to show it to you and dispel it without the need for you to raise it to awareness yourself. Yeah, let's let the Holy Spirit do it for me. Well, in some ways, that is exactly what you are doing. But there is your part to play in it, which is giving it over to the Holy Spirit and listen to His guidance and do what He says. Yet there is one more complication which you have interposed between yourself and the atonement, which you do not yet realize. Okay, let's look at that again. You may wonder why it is so crucial that you look upon your hatred and realize its full extent. You may also think that it would be easy enough for the Holy Spirit to show it to you and dispel it without the need for you to raise it to awareness yourself. Yet there is one more complication which you have interposed between yourself and the atonement, which you do not yet realize. We have said that no one will countenance fear if he recognizes it. Okay, to countenance something is to support it. So let's look at it from that word. We have said that no one will support fear if he recognizes it. So no We have said that no one will countenance fear if he recognizes it. Yet yet in your disordered state, you are not afraid of fear. You do not like it, but it is not your desire to attack which really frightens you. You are not seriously disturbed by your hostility, which is kind of a shame, huh? We're not sensitive enough to what we're doing. We're not watching our loss of peace, or we would not like that. You keep it hidden because you are more afraid of what it covers. What? What's it covering? Paragraph 11. You could look even upon the ego's darkest cornerstone without fear if you did not believe that without the ego you would find within yourself something you fear even more. You are not afraid of crucifixion. Your real terror is of redemption. Your real terror is of redemption. Boy, we are looking at things upside down, aren't we? And that's the point he's trying to get us to see. Under the ego's dark foundation is the memory of God, and it is of this that you are really afraid, for this memory would instantly restore you to your proper place, and it is this place that you have sought to leave. Whoa. Your fear of attack is nothing compared to your fear of love. You would be willing to look even upon your savage wish to kill God's Son if you did not believe that it saves you from love. For this wish caused the separation. To be saved from love that was the wish that caused the separation, to be divided from love. Think you wanted to do it on your own and to be apart from the oneness of love, the oneness of God. For this wish caused the separation. You have protected it because you do not want the separation healed. And you realize that by removing the dark cloud that obscures it, your love for your Father would impel you to answer his call and leap into heaven. You believe that attack is salvation to prevent you from this. You believe that attack is salvation to prevent you from leaping up into heaven because of the love of God. For still deeper than the ego's foundation and much stronger than it will ever be is your intense and burning love of God and his for you. This is what you really want to hide. This is what you really want to hide, is this burning, intense love of God that God has for you and you have for him. But that's lost sight of in the ego's dark imaginings that he calls the, what did he call it? Well, there's a name here. Anyway, it's the meanderings of the ego. That's not what he just called it. Still deeper than the ego's foundation and much stronger than it will ever be is your intense and burning love of God and his for you. This is what you really want to hide. This is what you really want to hide, is this incredible love. So we've divided ourselves and separated from that, and now we're trying to keep that in place. As we're looking at the world upside down, we're afraid of redemption. In honesty, is it not harder for you to say, I love, than I hate? Think about that one. You associate love with weakness and hatred with strength, and your own real power seems to you as your real weakness. For you could not control your joyous response to the call of love if you heard it, and the whole world you think you control would vanish. The Holy Spirit then seems to be attacking your fortress, for you would shut out God, and he does not will to be excluded. And if he doesn't will to be excluded, you're not going to be excluded. You have built your whole insane belief system because you think you would be helpless in God's presence, and you would save yourself from his love because you think it could crush you into nothingness. Let's read that sentence again. It's paragraph 14. You have built your whole insane belief system because you think you would be helpless in God's presence, and you would save yourself from his love because you think it would crush you into nothingness. Oh my, what a misunderstanding of truth. You are afraid it would sweep you away from yourself and make you little. For you believe that magnitude lies in defiance, and that attack is grandeur. You think you have made a world which God would destroy, and by loving him, which you do, you would throw this world away, which you would. Let's read that one again. You think you have made a world which God would destroy, and by loving him, which you do, you would throw this world away, which you would. Therefore, you have used the world to cover your love. And the deeper you go into the blackness of the ego's foundation, the closer you come to the love that is hidden there. Remember, we're going to use up. And it is this that frightens you. Hey, just a minute here. We're going to finish. That's Jed there. Just a minute. And Jed, thank you. So you get to meet my dog, and we got someone knocking at the door. And it is this that frightens you. Jed, quiet. Thank you. All right, so go back and read that again, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. Lesson 36, Jed, just be quiet down now. My holiness envelops everything I see, and my holiness blesses the world. Today is my holiness blesses the world. My holiness blesses the world. Be sure to pray for all your people that come to your mind. Friend and foe, as Jesus called it. Be sure to love everybody and say to each one that comes to your mind, my holiness blesses you, blank. My holiness blesses the world. Thank you all for joining me today. My holiness blesses the world.